friends, and I don't do things professionally. So, and why? It's just like, we're just hanging out, being friends together, working out. It'd be cool if we could meet at the park sometime. Maybe we should try that. Yeah, I think we should. I think the weather's getting better, and we can meet at Juniper Park and maybe do some body work and then go for a walk or like a light jog eventually or something. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, awesome. So, uh, yes, what are we doing today? We're gonna do arms today because my legs are tired. And so, um, yeah, so let's do some arm circles. We'll just march in place. Thanks for being flexible because I think we'll get more out of the leg workouts if our legs are a little fresher. Are you sore, Grace? Yeah, a little bit. I think it was those pulses. They got me like right up here, in the upper part of the thigh. Like, woof, I gotta do more of that stuff, I guess. But anyways, you know what? I take that back. We're doing just fine. We're doing what we're doing, and it's enough. And so we can do the other way, circle the other way. So Aaron asked a good question. How do I eat 6 bananas and not have the sugar affect me? Well, I think I've learned a few things. You can either use fat for fuel or you can use sugar for fuel, but you can't use both. You have to use one or another. If I do sugar and fat at the same time, I feel like I put on some weight and I feel like my blood sugars are out of whack. Okay, other way again. Almost done. 30 more seconds. But if you just eat fruit sugars and not combine them, the body when you have fats in your system and then you eat sugars, the fats, from what I understand, I'm not a nutritionist or a doctor, but the fats kind of block the absorption. So the sugar is just circulating and circulating through your body, raising your blood sugar, causing more insulin to come out, and you become more insulin resistant, I think it is. 10 more seconds. So that's what I've learned. I do fruits in the morning. I do fruits by themselves, kind of with greens. Greens can go with everything. And then I save my fats for the afternoon, evening. But yeah, I'm kind of exploring that. Okay, so now we're just going to pump our arms up and down. I know it's burning a little bit, but that's why you're here, right? Yes, good job. Should be feeling it a little bit in the this area, whatever that's called. Okay, only 10 more seconds. Okay, palms are facing down. Can't see me very well, but just pumping our arms for 3, 2, 1, then flip your arms up, your palms up, and I know, good job, good job, good job. Okay, jump if you have to, and then hop right back up. We're almost done. So I have this weighted vest, and I need to start wearing it because I need to make sure that my bone density stays up. And every time I do, 3, 2, 1, release, shake it out. Every time I do, it hurts these muscles right here, and then I end up getting a headache. So it's not very helpful. I'm not sure what to do about that. Because I want to wear a weighted vest more, but I don't want to have headaches every day. Okay, good warm up. Now, we're going to grab our weights, and we're going to do some curls. I wish I had my 8-pound weights. I only have 5 and 10s, and I don't think I can do that many curls with 10 pounds yet. But the good news is my truck engine is being put in, so maybe I'll get my 8-pound weights back someday. All right, so in 5 seconds, we're just gonna do regular curls at your own pace for 1 minute. Okay, so just go ahead and, yep, perfect. I like to keep my elbows kind of anchored to my side, but whatever you feel like is good. This is also really good when you're tightening your core and your glutes. It becomes a whole body exercise. Don't forget to breathe. And I like to go slow on the way down because it's just a little bit of added. Yeah, makes it a little harder.
Think.
Beautiful. Good job. 15 more seconds, almost done.
Gotta mute. My dog is barking.
Okay. All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Take your arms out a little bit if you need to. Are the boys in their trampoline, Grace?
No, I just have Psalm right here.
Oh,
And then Royce is watching Curious George for 20
oh,
minutes.
very nice. Thomas being so calm and quiet.
Yeah, he's pretty chill in the mornings.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and hold your palms up, weights in your hand, and just elbows are attached to your waist. And we're just gonna hold it for a minute if we can. Really working those biceps isometric. Isometric exercises like holding things like the plank or holding the half push-up position or the wall sits. Those are such a great way to really build dense muscle. So when you're just doing stuff and you get a chance, you could even hold your leg out, whatever it is. Once when you're holding stationary, your muscles, it's just really good for them. So I'm gonna alternate legs just because why not? My legs are like, no thank you today, but I'm gonna trick them and sneak in a little bit of leg work. Okay, almost there. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Shake them out. Okay, now we're gonna go just to an overhead arm press. And so just the weights are at your shoulders and your abs tight and your glutes are tight and your knees are slightly bent. And you're just going up for 2 and down for 2. Beautiful. For 1 minute. What I like about the minute thing is I don't have to worry about losing track of the number that I'm trying to remember what number we're on. But I wonder while we're doing this, if you guys could think of a Bible verse that you read this morning or anything that kind of comes to mind. Good job. What I always do in these is I tend to tighten my neck muscles, and that's not helpful. So try to keep your neck loose. Exhaling on the way up for 3, 2, and last one. Great, good job. You can shake your arms out a little bit. We're gonna move on to tricep press in a few seconds. Okay, if you're ready, weights go together and just straight up, and then they just go back behind your head and straight up. So the only thing that moves is the hinge in your elbow. And we don't want to be like swinging them, slow and steady is really good. We'll only do 30 seconds of this one because it's a little bit more challenging. If it's too heavy, you can always use one weight. If it's too easy, you gotta go up in weights. Good job. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. You put your weights down for a minute. Oh, if you can reach the ground. Somehow, like this whole band right here in my upper leg is very sore today. Drink of water if you like, or matcha. Okay. Yeah, that's a good question, Erin, talking about the fruit. Everybody's got a different opinion of things. And, I used to think my way was, once I learned what my way was, which wasn't really my way. It was just something I heard from someone else. I thought, oh, good job, you're getting your squat in. Let's do that. Great idea. Let's get like a minute of our squat done, because then I don't have to do 5 later while we're chatting and recovering our arms. But you know, the proverb says, I wish I could quote it exactly, but it says, everything is right. The case seems right to the person until the neighbor comes in. You know, I butchered that. But the idea is, it's right. Everything is right until somebody else brings another opinion in. And then it starts to crumble a little bit, the foundation of what it is. And all that to say, I don't know that there is one right way. I used to think Genesis 1:29, in the beginning, God created mankind and put them in the garden and said, this is my original prescription for you. Eat fruit that's on the trees and green leafy greens, nuts and seeds. That seems to be the optimal diet for mankind. And then if you look at Revelation at the end, we're going to be eating fruit and greens. It says the leaves are for the healing of the nations and the fruit will be their meat. So I love that idea, but in the middle is the gray area, right? The middle is where we all have different places of origin, different genetics, different environments. Some people live in the tropics and it's so easy for them to eat mangoes all day and papayas and watery foods because they need the hydration. Some people live in, Alaska, where they need dense foods, So I've changed my mind on the thinking that it's like a one size fits all. And there's different seasons of life, right? So me being in perimenopause, it's not as easy for me to, I could just eat a lot when I was little, when I was younger, when I was like Sweet Grace's age. But now, okay, let's do our curls again. I'm just gonna do that whole set one more time. So when you're ready, we'll just do a minute of curls at your own pace. So now I'm kind of like exploring and being a little bit more gracious towards other people's viewpoints, because there's only one that has perfect knowledge of our bodies. But I do know that we can ask God for wisdom. I have so many fun stories of God telling me what to do when I didn't know. Do you guys want to hear them while we're just doing curls? Okay. I don't want it to be like the Lindsay talk show, but I figure it's better than dead air, right? So, okay. Keep on curling. So I used to get ocular migraines. Have you guys ever had ocular migraine? Erin, have you? I can't see you nodding yes or no. So I don't know. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Release, relax. Ocular migraines is where there's like a little sparkle in your view, and then it gets bigger and bigger, and so this whole field of vision is sparkly, and it's like electricity going. It's like sparklers right next to your eyes. Okay, let's go ahead and do the isometric bicep pull. And then when that would die down again after you freaked out that you're gonna lose your eyesight and what in the world's happening, then you get a really bad headache, a migraine. It would last for like hours or days or whatever. That's just one of the many, many symptoms I had. And I also had, I would just be fine, and then all of a sudden I would feel like I was about to have a seizure or something really bad, like pending doom would just come over me. And I realized afterwards that this is a panic attack, but I didn't know what panic attacks were. And of course, I'm a Christian, I shouldn't be being anxious. Like, that's not allowed. So anyways, I went to a naturopath in Portland that was like renowned as the Christian naturopath. He said, well, you either have a brain tumor or seizures. That'll be $800. I'm not kidding you. It was terrible. it was the worst experience, one of the worst experiences with healthcare. And you think going to a naturopath would, be good. Anyways, I was very traumatized after that. Find out I had neither of those. I had a gluten intolerance that I've had since I was a child. But it was just getting worse because of stress and being a mother and all the things. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Okay, shake it out. Shake it out. And we're gonna do overhead. Oh yeah, we'll do overhead press. So, okay, ready? And start. I think this is right. Oh yeah. Okay. So anyway, long story shorter, I was like, Lord, what do I do? What should I do? Uh, I have babies, and I would get one of these, and then I would have to drive home from church, and I would feel like I was dizzy and disoriented, and it was terrible. It was a very challenging time. And I remember praying one time, and he said, "Give me the bread. Let me be the bread of life for you." Now, this was 18 years ago, 17 years ago. Nobody was gluten free. There was not, there was no gluten free epidemic like there is today. And it wasn't a fad, and nobody chose it for health, right? 10 more seconds. I know it's burning. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you'll be the bread of life. That sounds good. Thanks, Lord. I had no idea what that meant. Okay, relax. Relax. God's so good. Grace, it's like you telling Psalm, well, to find the volume of a cylinder, you take pi times the height times the width. Yeah, he's gonna get that. And that is like God speaking to us. He says in the word, see, I would rather do this all day, talk about God, but we gotta work out. So let's do tricep press. So God says, high as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways. And who can know the mind of God? I'm just mixing lots of verses there, but the idea is, I didn't understand what God was saying. So after Hope had some issues, I was nursing her. She had all these issues, and come to find out after allergy testing and all these things that it was me passing huge molecules of gluten protein through the breast milk, and her little body could not handle it. So I learned that day that I was had a gluten intolerance. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh my goodness! And last one. Good. Okay, let's relax our arms and do a squat. Yeah, Aaron's already there. Okay. So that's probably way more of an answer than you wanted, but I found out that day that I had gluten sensitivity, and I was like, because of her allergies, when I was nursing her, her whole body was in a rash, and she was very unhappy, and so I had narrowed everything down from like tomatoes, citrus, everything. Basically, I was eating chicken and bread. That's the only thing I could eat, and I couldn't eat the bread anymore. So I was like, whoa, what am I gonna do? They had one option for gluten free, and it was like a 5-pound brick of brown rice bread. That's way back in the day. But anyways, God had already told me, long story is, God already told me, give me the bread. Probably like a year before. I just didn't understand what he meant. And that's okay because God's so patient with us. But it just gives him more glory when we look back and realize he's there the whole time telling us what to do. So just a little encouragement for you guys that if you need any wisdom, ask God and he will tell you. And so anyways, okay, if you can, when you get out of the squat, you can just try to put your heels on the floor and just bend one knee and straighten it, and bend the other knee and straighten it. Try to look down at your belly button. just stretching the back of your legs and your hips. These get really tight. Okay, so do we have one more like micro round of arms in us to do? Yeah, is that okay? Do one more round. Good. Okay, Erin's like, I already have my weights in my hand. What you do? You're wasting my time. Okay, go ahead and start the curls. Doing so great. One more micro story. When I had osteoporosis and the doctor said, you can't hold your baby, you're gonna get stress fractures. That was very, very scary also. That was baby number 2. And I did not want to take the medication because it causes all kinds of terrible things. Plus I was too young. I was only 32 years old or something. And I said, Lord, what do? I need to be a mom to take care of my kids. I don't want to be crippled. And I was very desperate. And the Lord said, eat what grows in a garden. And after piles of research and confusion on what to do, eat what grows in the garden. Isn't that so simple? That is how the Lord speaks to us. Give me the bread, eat what grows in the garden. And that's what my philosophy has been. And I adopted that, and it sounds really simple, but it was a little confusing. Just like the gluten-free thing was 18 years ago. Now it's no problem at all. But 10 more seconds, almost there, 5 more seconds. But following that philosophy reversed the osteoporosis, and I never had a stress fracture or either fracture. Okay, relax. So that's just, I didn't intend to talk so much about myself, but I hope that that encourages you guys too, that God is so good to give us leading. And of course, I don't just leave it there. When you're ready, go ahead and hold your arms out. I have to confuse things with, well, what kind of vegan diet does that look like? You know, is it high fruit? Is it high fat? Is it, you know, this and that, all raw, all cooked? You know, it's just like humans. We make everything so complicated. But God gives us freedom. So, anyways, and there you go. Lots of my issues and the goodness of God. I really think these trials that we have in our life are just invitations from the Lord to come to Him and to ask for help, don't you think? Whatever we're going through, it's just, oh, yep, that's from me telling you I'm here. Come to me and let me help you with it. 10 more seconds. You're doing so good. Appreciate you guys. I want to hear your stories too. Sometime when you feel like talking, there's something that you needed wisdom on and you asked God and He gave it to you. All right, relax. Arm press, triceps, and we'll do a little ab exercise and we'll be done. So when you're ready, press up and down. Remembering our neck is relaxed, our chin is back, abs are tight, glutes are tight, slight bend in the knees. Remembering to breathe. Good job. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold it up. And go right into our triceps for 10, 9, 8, beautiful, 7, hold those abs tight, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Good job. I don't know where Stephanie is. I need to call her. Sina says, I need to do, Sina says she needs to do harder workouts with more abs. So she's doing really good. Okay, so let's just do one more minute and then we only have 2 minutes on our own to do our squats and then we're done with that for the day. We can check that box. And then I'd like to do just one ab minute, 1 minute of abs. We're gonna do bicycle. And then we'll stretch for a sec. And then I have to go deal with algebra. So pray for me. It's so tough. The girls are now in Math UC, which I do not love, but we've tried lots of different curriculums. However, Math UC is like, there's like a little video lesson, which is awesome, but they do it on their own. And then like 4 lessons later, they're like, Mom, I don't understand and I need help. And I'm like, I don't have a clue where you even at in this because I'm not doing the lessons with you anymore. So then it takes me a while to catch up and then I get frustrated. And so, yes, that is math. That's okay. We're learning about the 70s in history today. Okay, you can relax. So we're studying about Gerald Ford and the end of the Vietnam War and all the crazy styles of the 70s. I love the 70s. I think I was born in the 70s and I love the bell bottoms and I love the hippie vibe, minus the drugs. Okay, let's go ahead and do 1 minute of bicycle. And then we'll be done. So feet in tabletop position and wait till it says, okay. And we're just gonna alternate knee to elbow for 1 minute. The lower your legs go when you extend them, the more challenging, the more ab work you're gonna get out of this. Because we're here, we might as well get something out of this, huh? Good job. Halfway. $15 more seconds. Try to get your legs a little lower if you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, you can hook your knees to your chest. Relax for a minute. Okay, very good. All right, so great, sweetie. All right, so we can just relax in whatever position you like. We're just gonna stretch arms a little bit before we go about our day. Stretching is always a thing I'm like, I'm done with my workout, I need to go do something else. But I think stretching is kind of like telling your body thank you, for working hard. And taking care of it. Which is not always my first priority, but it should be. Deserves our appreciation, I think. So as we go about our day, I want us to think about one verse, and I'm sorry, I do not know the reference. I know it's in Proverbs, but I woke up the other morning in the middle of the night with this really clearly in my head. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As a man thinks in his heart, or of course a woman, so is he. And we know the verse about the Lord, how the Lord says to take every thought, Paul says through the Holy Spirit, take every thought captive to the obedience of Christ. And sometimes there's thoughts are just like on a racetrack, speeding through our minds before we can catch them. But if there's one thought that kind of recirculates, see if you can notice what that thought is today. And just know that whatever we're constantly thinking about really creates who we are. So if we're constantly thinking that either, whatever, we're a failure, we're not good enough, what's the point of ever trying? Fill in the blank with your kind of repeat tape. If we can always switch it. I love the verse Romans 12 that we are to 12:2, I think, but we are to be renewing our minds, being transformed by renewing our mind. So I love how God says you're not a victim to your thoughts, and thoughts are only an option. They're an invitation and an option, and we don't have to choose them. So let's just, I wonder if we can just think about what is our recurring thought and then decide, is it of God and is it serving me and is it serving God's kingdom? Or maybe we can just replace it because we only have a short time to live here and we want to live it for the glory of God and the best way we can. So Lord bless you. Thank you for being with me, and I hope my stories weren't too boring. But yeah, thank you, and good job on the arms today. And we'll let our legs recover, and we'll come back tomorrow.
Bye.
Right. Thank you so much. And if you guys have a verse in your mind, want to share that, great. If you want to put it in the chat, awesome. I love to be encouraged by what God's sharing with you too.
Thank you, Lindsay.
All right. Have a great day. Love you guys.
Love
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.